Who does not want to be free from money problems? Never have to bother about the bills, never have to worry about the vacation you want to take, or even worry about giving money to your loved ones, to your family and friends. This is what you can achieve with financial freedom. Now, what is financial freedom? Financial freedom means you've accumulated enough assets that can generate passive income to comfortably pay your bills and to have extra. Now, is it achievable? Of course it is. There are people that have attained the height of financial freedom, and there are steps in which you can take to actually attain this financial freedom I'm talking about. Now, imagine that you don't have to bother about your bills. You don't have to worry about the vacation you want to take, maybe to the Europe or to the North America or even to Africa. That is what financial freedom means. And I'm going to be giving you today 7 steps in which you can use to achieve your financial freedom. Like financial freedom, attaining financial freedom is in 7 stages. And I'm going to be telling you the 7 stages that we have for financial freedom. Currently, I'm on stage 5. So I want you to leave in the comments, what stage are you on by the time we start discussing the different stages for financial freedom. Now, the very first stage is the awareness stage. When I say the awareness stage, this is when you come to the understanding of what your finances look like. I know it can be very tedious. I know a lot of people do not want to discuss about their finances. However, if you do not discuss about your finances, how do you know the steps you need to take for you to be able to attain this financial freedom we're talking about? So what do you do at this awareness stage? At the awareness stage, this is when you begin to learn how much do I actually earn as my gross income. That is before taxes are taken. And in this part of the world where you actually pay huge taxes, you need to begin to know what taxes do I actually pay. Now, how much do I earn after my taxes are already taken from my income? So when you earn $80,000 and assume your tax is $10,000, that means available to spend to you is actually $70,000 and not $80,000 that you earn. So that is a stage of awareness. You've come to realize, okay, this is the amount I'm actually paying in taxes on the income I earn. Another awareness stage is when you begin to classify your assets, you begin to classify your debts. You begin to know what are the liabilities you have on you. You begin to know, okay, my assets, these are the things that are bringing money to me. And these are the things that are taking money away from me. So when you get to this stage, you understand your financial situation. Are you in a negative position in terms of net worth? That is when you take off your asset from your liability from your asset. Are you in a negative position? Are you in a positive position? Or are you even in zero? This is what you do at the awareness stage. Now, the next stage, once you've been able to come to the awareness of your finances, the next stage is the break-even stage. So at this stage, what you're trying to do is just to make sure your asset and your liability equals to 0. So remember I said, asset is what brings money to you. It's something that appreciates in value, while liability is what takes away money from you, something that depreciates in value. Now, when you computed all your assets, you compute all your liabilities as well. You want to make sure at least you're 0. That is when you've broken even. So let's assume you earn $5,000 in a month. You want to ensure that your expenses for that month is not more than $5,000. So if you're earning $5,000 in a month and your expenses is about $6,000, that means you have not broken even. Because you now know the stage that you need to break even, then you begin to think, how can I make my expense and my liability, my asset and my liability, how can I make them 0? So you begin to think, okay, do I need to increase my income? That is a stage. Because you have the awareness, now you're trying to break even. Ideas begin to come into you. Do I need to change my job so that I can have more income come to me? So when you at this stage, you've determined your cash flow that, okay, this is what I have. I want to struggle to at least break even, meaning my income and expense for the month is at least at 0. That means the amount I earn can comfortably pay off my expenses. But the best thing is to actually make your assets, which is the income that comes to you, more than your expenses. But we're not trying to do that in stage two, right? So stage one is for us to be aware of our finances, and the stage two is for you to try to break even. Now for stage three is now for you to build a safety net. So when you've broken even now, your income and your expense, they are now at zero, they are at par, right? Now the next thing you're going to be doing is, how do I save emergency fund? How do I start putting something away so that I don't have to go back to the era of debt? Now, and how do you do that? So you now know that your income and your expense, they are at par. So what do you do? Do I need to change my job so that I can have more money coming to me? Or do I need to cut down on some of my expenses? I know there is a limit to which you can cut your expense. However, but you can still reduce some certain thing. Maybe eat out. If you're doing eat out maybe 4 times in a month, you might say, okay, why not do 2 times a month so I can have the other two put towards my emergency fund. Emergency fund cannot be overemphasized. And if you're able to save a minimum of $1,000 in emergency fund, you're far above 60% of the Americans. Because Americans, they do not have emergency fund. What it means is, whenever there's an emergency, they resort to borrowing to fund the emergency. But you can start today, no matter how small you have, just start putting that little money aside into an emergency fund, into an account that you term as an emergency fund. So that when your laptop breaks down, you don't have to go to maybe the store and go and get a loan to buy a laptop. You can easily fund it from your emergency fund. Remember that getting into debt will also increase what? Will make you pay more interest, because you have to pay interest on the debts you're taking. That is why you need an emergency fund. And the two ways in which you can build your emergency fund, like I said, is either you cut down on your expense. There are limits to which you can cut, but you can reduce your expense. Or you can decide to increase your income. And how do you increase your income? You can decide to change your jobs. The truth is, a lot of people that move from job to job tend to earn more than the people that stay in one job. I'm not saying don't be loyal to your company, but that is the fact and is a principle, right? Or you can decide to monetize your skill. Look for something you can do aside from your regular 9 to 5 job. So if you're already in stage three, like I said, put in the comments, what stage are you in? And don't be shy to put it in the comment, because once you put it in the comment, what happens? That means you're working towards the next stage. And the next stage, which is stage 4, is growth. Now, we have started putting money aside into an emergency fund. The next thing we're going to try to do is to try to invest our money. Now, because you've started putting money aside, it's now becoming easy for you, right? It's becoming easy for you to put something aside, maybe on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis. Now, what you're putting aside, we're going to be investing those money so that it can grow for us, right? Now, if you're building an emergency fund, I do not advise you put it in risky assets, because emergency can come at any time. However, you can use high yield savings account for your emergency fund. And if you've built maybe like 1 to 2 months or 3 months emergency fund, if you have a regular income, you can now decide to start putting money aside for growth. That means you've created another account in which you can now invest that in the market and let it work so hard for you, because money can actually work hard for you just as the way you work hard for to earn the money. So now at this growth stage, what we are doing is we're putting money into an investment account, and we're actually utilizing the money in the market. Like me, I use wealthsimple for my investment. I use it because it's easy, it's user friendly, it's very beginner friendly. It doesn't have much of the financial jargons that a lot of apps we have. And if you're in Canada, you can also try the word simple. It's very beginner friendly, like I said. And you can use my referral code. My referral code will be put in the description. And guess what? I'm going to be getting $25 whenever you use my referral code. And you also do what? You also get $25 when you put in your first fund. So what does that mean? It means that you've already made $25 in addition to the amount you're putting in your investment account. And when you put the money in wealthsimple, you're going to make a request for this money to actually be invested in the markets. And if you're in Canada or in any part of the world, you can use tax sheltered accounts. They are tax sheltered accounts. Like in Canada, we have the TFSA is tax sheltered, which means any money that you invest through your TFSA account, any return that is made on the money you invested, it's not taxable. But TFSA has a limit, so you have to check your limits. You can log into your CRA account, like I said, if you're in Canada, and check what your TFSA limit is for this year. Now, when you put the money in an app, maybe like Simple that I use, you can now request it for it to be invested in the market. Like you are a beginner in the market. It's not a financial advice. I like the S&P 500, the index ETFs. What it means is you're investing in the best 500 companies in the US. Or if you want to do the equity 60, like the Canadian equity, that means you're investing in the best 60 companies in Canada. So because you're investing in those companies, what it means is you've diversified your fund already, unlike you investing in just one portfolio. So I'm going to be doing a video on teaching you how you can actually use wealthsimple to invest. So you can check for the link in the description as well. Now, if you've done stage 4, the next stage you're going to is the stage 5, which is wealth building. Remember I said I'm in stage 5. So what are we doing in stage 5, which is wealth building? We've built a momentum from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3 to stage 4. Now, the next thing is for us to actually make our money work for us, right? We're going to be putting more money in the market. We're going to be putting more money in our investment account and let it actually work for us. The S&P 500 I mentioned before has done an average of about 10% return over the past years that it's been around. So it means that if you're earning about 10% on a yearly basis on your investment, you know what it's going to bring maybe after 5 years, after 6 years, or after 7 years. And because you're at this stage, you want to put more money in your investment account. What does this mean? It gives you more momentum. It opens up your mind for you to determine how else can I make more money? Because you hit the momentum and you now want to put more money in your investment account. So you're thinking, your mind is open. Your mind is open to learning. Your mind is telling you, okay, do this to make more money. You can do this. You can upskill to make more money. You can change your job to make more money. You can run the side also to make more money, or you can do some affiliate marketing to make more money by the side. And any money we make, we're going to be putting it towards our wealth building. Now, once we're done with stage 5, we're going to be going to the financial independence stage. Financial independence stage means you now have assets that can comfortably pay your bills passively. So now remember, we've put enough money in the market in our growth stage, in our wealth building stage, right? Now, the money that we get as returns from this money we've put in the market, we're going to be using it to pay our bills. So let's assume maybe I've invested and I have about $1 million and I'm making a return of about $60,000 annually. And I fill my bills annually, maybe my mortgage and every other bills, right? It's $60,000. So what does that mean? I can comfortably pay my bills from the passive income I'm getting from my investment. That is financial independence. So it means if I decide not to work again today, if I decide not to do any active job again today, my bills will pick my bills from my passive income. And that is stage 6. Now, the final stage, which is the financial freedom stage, is stage 7. So stage 7 is your assets can now comfortably bring passive income to you that can cover your bills and you still have extra. That is a stage that everybody should be working towards, which means the asset I now have in the market. So your asset can either be your business, your asset can either be your real estate, your asset can either be stocks markets, anything that brings passive income to you that you do not need to actively work in that place, and it pays your bills, and I still have more in the bank that I can either reinvest or I can decide to do charity donation to people in need. That is the stage of financial freedom. And that is the stage I am working towards. Now, when you start working towards the stage, I know it might sound, if maybe if you're in stage one, it might sound as if it is not achievable. But the truth is, once you start building the momentum, you would see it is very, very. So, what stage are you in this financial journey? Now, the very first stage is the awareness stage. The second stage is the break even stage. The third stage is the safety net. The fourth stage is the growth stage. The fifth stage is the wealth building stage. The sixth stage is the financial independence stage. And the seventh stage is the financial freedom. So, do you want to be financially free? Try and go through the stages and see what stage are you in now. What can you do to go to the next stage? And please subscribe to my channel so that you can be getting useful nuggets like this. I also have a community where we hold each other's hands to grow financially. We learn how to make money, we learn how to manage our money, and we also learn how to multiply our money in this community. If you want to join the community, the link is in the bio, in the description. So you can join the community using the link. It is free for the first 100 people to join the community. After 100 people, the community becomes a paid community. So if you want to join so that you can have access to this community free for life, you can just join using the link in the description. I hope you've learned something in this video today. And what financial stage are you in? What are you doing to move to the next stage? So if you've learned something today, you can just drop it in the comments. What did you learn today from this video? Do you believe that this video can be of help to someone, maybe your friend or your family member? Why not send it to them so that they can also learn something and build their financial freedom as well? So please subscribe to my channel until I come your way next time. God bless you and remain blessed.